So welcome back to the Nerd Paradise podcast, and our next segment is going to be a bit skewed and a bit angry and a lot of Matt shouting. So let's get on with it. Matt?
What the fuck did we just watch?
Oh, forgot. Disclaimer. Before. Some language that may occur in this this part of the podcast does not reflect the whole entire... Yes, it does.
As well as spoilers. Okay? Can somebody just tell them the movie? Because I don't want to even go there.
Okay, so...
Let's let Harvey speak, okay?
Really?
So, for today's venture, we decided to go watch the new movie Prometheus to provide a review for all of our faithful listeners.
What the fuck did we just watch?
Okay, so... For those who don't know what the basis of the movie is basically... prequel set.
Well, pseudo-prequel.
Pseudo-prequel, yeah.
Like, Ridley Scott didn't want to use the word prequel, but...
Prequel!
It's a prequel to Ridley Scott, okay?
So, yeah.
You may not like the word, but it's a fucking prequel if it happens.
Okay, can I say what
before your first movie.
It's pretty much as much of a prequel as The Hobbit is to Lord of the Rings.
Can I say what the prequel is all first before you guys start?
Fine, go. See with rage here.
The prequel of the Alien franchise, basically. See what you did here? I had a role and then... Fuck it.
I said Ridley Scott, okay? Some people should know.
So yeah, those who haven't watched the Alien movies, where have you been the last 10 years?
More than that. The first one came out in the 80s, Mark. 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years. I had to stop myself for a moment there. But yeah. So...
Or was it the 70s? Either way, around 30 years.
Yeah. Anyways, the movie starts off with basically the whole... Prometheus Greek mythology intro.
Kinda, yeah. It's supposed to. I'm guessing they're going for like a metaphor for it here. And this is where my problem with the movie begins.
I'll let him describe it for you because he's got a ton of rage and he needs to get out.
Okay, so the movie begins with one of the engineers, or if you watch the Alien movies, you know them by space jockeys. Which was much cooler of a name, thank you very much.
A lot less sophisticated, though.
Yeah, it's less sophisticated, but just more cooler, because it seems like these are the people that rode in space.
It makes me think of a small man riding on the back of a planet.
Which is kind of cool.
Yes, but a very, very different tone. Anyway.
So it starts with one of these people... getting himself, I don't know, did he eat? I forget, did he eat it or did he...
He drank.
He drank this black goo thing.
Some tar-looking shit.
X-Files ripoff.
Yeah, after looking up in the air and seeing this gigantic saucer fly away.
Saucer, because that's the only thing Ridley Scott could think of to design of the first spaceship we see in the movie. Basic flying saucer. Real creative here.
Just so you understand that they're not from here.
Yeah. But, yeah, so he drinks it and he kind of instantly decomposes and apparently he becomes the building blocks of life on Earth.
Essentially.
Bullshit, that was Earth! Okay? There was water. There was clear air. There was clouds in the sky. There was... I think I saw birds at one point.
Yeah, birds.
If this was supposed to be primordial Earth, 1, no birds. 2, no clear sky. 3, no water that looked that damn clear. Okay? Back when life started on Earth, guess what? We look like Venus. Stormy, toxic, uninhabitable. That's Earth when life started. Not what the fuck they showed us. Get your facts straight, assholes! Okay, who wants to continue? I'm going to take a drink of water.
I think I just shit myself. Go ahead, Art.
It's especially irking for me to consider that if they're not going with that, with the theory of evolution, And then later on, they talk about 3 centuries of Darwinism just out the door. As if in that long, they haven't found any more conclusive proof. And that's what they're going with. And yet, here's this shit that would maybe suggest that human life started after fucking everything else did because of these alien engineer motherfuckers. Are you serious?
If Darwinism exists in this universe, those engineer fuckers can't exist.
Why do I see, like, Tom Cruise in my head going, yes! Yes! Yes!
But yeah, moving on to the next inaccuracy in this movie. The Isle of Skye in Scotland, apparently 35,000 years ago, had humans, or humanoids at least, that were doing cave drawings. Number 1, not in Scotland, not in my lifetime. Number 2, 35,000 years ago was before even Neanderthal man. There was nothing that had the intelligence to do paintings on walls.
Just imagine a ginger Neanderthal.
Okay? There was nothing back then that could do wall paintings if you're saying that humans did this. And okay, if it was the engineers that did these wall paintings, why would an advanced alien species stoop down to such a primitive level to show something and then hide it? Again, logic, window. Woo!
And this, well, remember,
This is I'm a history guy here, so I think I can say for a fact that does not make sense.
remember the timeline here, folks, because this will become much more crucial to Matt's anger later on.
Let's go with, let me just reiterate, okay? This painting on the wall in the cave is 35,000 years old. Remember that fact. We'll come back to it.
Especially considering the humans that discover this later on, who are our main cast, they take this as an invitation.
Well, two of the main cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take this, the fact
Well,
they
our
found
main
this,
cast, essentially, because they're the only characters you can freaking remember.
Yeah. So, they found similar drawings all over the world, and this one's supposed to be the oldest, so they picked an arbitrary number, I'm sure, without getting any fucking facts straight about it. And so, they interpret this to be
don't worry,
invitation
Harvey.
to go there.
Yeah. Don't worry, Harvey. I've completely given up on the fact that these people were scientists.
Mm-hmm.
Scientists cannot be this fucking stupid.
I thought I was going to give the big reveal there.
This was the cast
What,
of Jackass.
just wait.
The line? Oh,
Just wait.
We're going to go in the order of the movie here.
So, yeah. They find it, and then
Then
scene
they
cuts
get-
off.
Yeah, and then the search is on. So they get funded by Wayland Industries on $1 trillion trip. Okay, now, you're going out into outer space, into a hostile setting. You don't know what's out there. You don't know what's going on. And you build $1 trillion ship. Fine, nice. Why not put some weapons on it?
If it's gonna be
even just for in case you encountered a fucking asteroid field or something. Something to blow shit up that's in your way.
if they had made just a 15-second asteroid little tribute through the movie there, I could have given at least that saving grace.
Not a single weapon on this $1 trillion ship.
Just wait. We haven't even gone to the next part of it. They show the ship.
Yeah, but again, not a single weapon on this, I repeat, $1 trillion ship. That's... Do you know how many zeros that is, people?
So yeah, they explain the ship where basically...
Yeah, we have the robot, which is a memorable character, even though he's a bit creepy.
He's the... I call him the evil kind of, like... The evil Robbie.
Yeah. He's an evil bastard, but honestly, whatever.
Yeah, they really, really amp up the idea of he's a robot, so he doesn't have a soul, so he does these things without any real moral compass.
I did enjoy the little thing with the basketball thing. If it wasn't a part of the movie and it was just like something you found on YouTube, I'd just like clap for that. But
Yeah.
Yeah, for killing time, they show Mr.
Him doing
Android,
stuff, yeah.
like watching old movies and
Yeah, apparently he's obsessed with Lawrence of Arabia.
he went
Whatever.
to
Why not?
He went to the gym, and at one point you see him riding around on a bicycle, dribbling a basketball, and
shooting it in.
From half court, I think.
Yeah.
Just shoots it while on the bike. And totally
just to emphasize, this guy is a robot. He can do things humans cannot do.
Yeah.
You know what? I preferred it in the original Alien movie, where we didn't find out the guy was a robot until afterwards, later on.
So yeah.
Okay, it was a good little twist, where they hit him, and suddenly, oh my god, you're not human. That worked.
Now here's where the creepy part comes in about the robot and one of the main characters, where he's probing her mind and looking into her memories.
While watching her dreams, as they say, but it's pretty much the same thing in this instance.
Yeah, it's creepy, but I think they gave him permission so that he could learn more stuff.
It's probably one of the fine print things that she didn't quite remember.
No, honestly, I think it's something that they gave him permission to do so he could learn more about the crew, so that when they woke up, he could be more adaptable to them, because otherwise he wouldn't have any kind of contact with them whatsoever.
True.
And for a robot, he sure does have some hate for some people.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out later on.
But honestly, in Ridley Scott's movies, all the robots kind of do.
Machines are dicks, man.
Alright, so they get to the planet, they get woken up from their little 2-year nap.
Where everyone's barfing. That's a great scene. Just watching.
Yeah, because that's what we need to show. People barfing for about, I would say almost 2 minutes, actually.
We made it, baby.
Like, as soon as they just wake up, it's just
Speaking of, 2 minutes! Yeah, that's going to be an important thing later on.
So, yeah.
So yeah, they wake up and they decide to have a briefing about what their mission's about. And then out of nowhere, fucking holograms in the Ridley Scott Alien universe. People that have seen the previous movies, can someone point out to me at any point in time where there were holograms? No? Can anyone think of a logical reason why humanity would suddenly stop using holograms?
Well,
logical, Harvey.
This is a far stretch, but think about, say, with the Dark Ages, where technology collapses, people go back to that. What if it's a smaller scale farther along, and shit goes bananas, and they have to revert back to more primitive technology? So,
in only one thing? Because everything else technically was more advanced.
You make some progress. I don't know, I'm playing devil's advocate over here.
Not enough. If you were the devil's advocate, the devil would be losing this case.
Yeah, maybe.
But, anyways.
Okay, so yeah,
hologram.
A hologram.
He explains everything.
Wayland,
yeah,
played by 30-year-old Guy Pearce, and so much prosthetics that it's comical.
You know, I kind of didn't notice him because I kept looking at the little dog that was there that was just like rolling around. Don't have a damn prop there if you're gonna have emphasis on the guy. It's basic film knowledge.
Yeah, especially if you're doing a movie in 3D where you're supposed to show emphasis on the thing that people are supposed to be looking at.
Yeah, you don't want this little distraction going on when a guy is walking on and
giving
you
out
exposition.
Yeah. And that's the thing, exposition. You know, if they did this movie properly, we wouldn't need exposition. We would know exactly what's going on. We wouldn't need Guy Pearce in enough gunk to freaking build a vase with the amount of stuff they put on his face. Guy Pearce here, okay? 30-something-year-old actor made to look 90-something. They could not have found a decent older actor?
I don't think any of the older actors wanted to be a part of this.
Probably not.
That's probably a good point.
Either way, though, they couldn't do that. Honestly, it ain't that hard. There are older actors that need work.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously weren't trying to go for big names here.
I'm pretty sure they kind
Guy
of...
Pearce and Charlie Theron being your biggest ones, you didn't aim that high. No offense to either of those people. They're good actors, but they're not A-list anymore.
I'm pretty sure they kind of gave the script to someone like, I don't know, Ben Kingsley or something. Ben Kingsley was just like...
No.
I'll have to refuse. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, so after exposition from Guy Pearce and enough prosthetics to make Klingons look subtle, the scientists, the quote-unquote scientists, begin talking. And out comes one of the most stupidest lines I've ever heard in a movie!
And that's saying something, given who's speaking here.
Okay, so, yeah, and I mean, I've seen every episode of the Nostalgia Critic, so I've seen stupid movies.
Like how... No, like, nothing on it, but I like how that's your main credential.
It's a good credential, okay? He reviews bad movies. If you've seen those, it's a good chance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they're talking, the woman's explaining, and suddenly she says that we're going to go and meet our creators. That these are the people that created humanity.
And at this point...
somebody in the crowd...
No. It was
the biologist.
No, the geologist.
No, the geologist was the one giving her a heck, but the guy that actually asked the question was the biologist.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And he asked...
The hipster biologist,
yeah,
actually.
Who actually looked like one of the guys from, what's that, band,
LMFAO?
Yes. He looked like one of the guys from there, kind of, with the...
With the really weird glasses.
Yeah.
And the very strange shaped hoodie.
Yeah, which is just dumb as it is. But anyways, I digress. That's future fashion, apparently. Whatever.
Nothing's changed.
Apparently, it's not the geeks that inherit the Earth, it's the hipsters.
That guy should have been carrying an iPhone. It would have been so vintage.
Well, they had a freaking iPad in the movie.
That's true.
A fucking iPad! Look, that's later on. I'll get to that. Because that itself was a stupid scene. Anyway, so the guy asks, what proof do you have that shows that these people created us? And the woman says, I have no proof. It is what I choose to believe.
Cut back.
What she chooses to believe, without any proof, anything backing the theory, any shrivel of evidence that this is a fact.
Once again, Tom Cruise. Yes! Yes!
Okay? And this woman has the gall to refer to herself as a scientist? Hey lady, ever heard of theory, hypothesis, scientific method? No? Well then, please give me your fucking PhD, because you sure as hell don't deserve it. God, this movie pissed me off.
Yes, we can all quite tell that.
I mean, like I said, for them off air when we were walking after the movie, I was like, I'm not as like I didn't like the movie as much as he did, but I didn't vent as much as he did.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they get to the planet finally. Yeah. We get a little scene with Charlize Theron character in her little room in the ship there. That's also escape pod thingy that can be launched off the ship, which is essentially just there to foreshadow the use of the medical machine in there. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason they have that scene going on. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a futuristic ship. You don't think they could have just scrapped that whole idea of this fancy little room, because it really doesn't come into play much anyways, and just had the auto operating table in the fucking med lab where it should belong.
One would think so.
But again, I digress. Moving back to the movie. Or as much of a movie as I can call it. It exists, at least. Mm-hmm. They get to the planet. They land. The geologist doesn't know that they landed on artificial terrain, apparently.
Right, there's a scene where they're inside the Land Rover, and he goes on. One of the scientists asks him if there's any, if the thing is natural or artificial, and he's like, I can't tell you that because I don't know myself.
Yeah, you know what could have told you that? Stepping out of the Land Rover. and digging a couple of inches.
So just looking at his iPad.
Yeah, you know, dig a couple of inches, and suddenly, oh, this isn't dirt anymore. This seems artificial.
You know what? I don't think this is so very solid.
Yeah,
He was not a very good geologist.
no, he wasn't. But we'll get to that later because we got a good joke for it at least.
So they arrive.
They go to this ruins. Now, skipping on ahead, the quote-unquote scientist lady at one point refers to the ruins as, what was the word she used, Harvey?
She called it a pyramid.
What's the shape of the ruins that they arrive in?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's not flat-edged with 3 or 4 corners. It doesn't have a point at the top. It's round because it's a big fucking dome.
Wait, you forget. There was a shape of a skull on that. If you didn't.
Yeah, a skull formation, but I think that was supposed to be something that naturally occurred on the planet and just happened to be there.
Yeah.
But anyways, again, later in the movie, the woman who's supposed to be an expert on ancient civilizations refers to a dome-like structure as a pyramid.
It's what I choose to believe.
Exactly.
We need to have a clip like that.
We need it. Yeah.
Just play it over and over again. Soundbite.
We need that as a soundbite, yes. But again, back to the movie. So they entered the dome, woman. It's a dome, and they start exploring. And one of the first things they do is the geologist has these devices that can map out the terrain.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of smart. Something that a geologist would need to
Yeah.
map out a cave system or something.
It's actually pretty cool because you would think that they would send these little devices going through and they wouldn't have to actually scout so much themselves because they have a pretty good inner
he
look
calls
at the
them
whole thing.
his pups.
I'm sure that there's a scene that's missing in there that actually gives some kind of meaning for it. Like there's probably a PUP, some kind of meaning
This
for
is
it.
where he doesn't sound like a scientist anymore when he calls them his pups
And then howls.
and then howls.
I think
But then again, they gave him like this kind of punk rocker look anyways.
yeah, I think it's supposed to be this the charm of where he's supposed to be from. And these are his dear little things, but they don't actually say what the fuck they are.
Mind you, his accent changed like 3 times in the movie, I noticed.
He's
Yeah.
trying like at the first part you think he's gonna be badass because of the way he acts. You'll see later what happens. He's
Yeah.
like a little bitch.
He's all talk, and he doesn't
Nobody.
know how to talk all the time.
All talk, no bite.
So, anyways, they map it out. Now, on his wrist, the geologist has a thing on it that shows a map. Mm-hmm. They even say that at one point that he knows what sector he's in at all times, like what sector of the structure. They even mention it at one point.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get back to that in a few minutes, because that's another stupid thing.
So they
begin exploring. The robot, for some reason, suddenly
finds hieroglyphs of some sort and starts
pushing them and rubbing against them.
And find some weird goo among them that's never really explained.
That suddenly activates what can be only described as really cheap holograms.
Yeah, holograms that we never understand like how it's recorded or by whom.
Yeah.
And it shows these.
Well, by who? I guess if this was supposed to be like a kind of lab or something going on, I guess it recorded everything.
Maybe.
But again, this is done by the engineers, the advanced alien race, and their so-called holograms look cheaper than the Earth ones. But again, I digress.
anyways.
Fuck.
They start running, and they start leading them.
Yeah, they lead the human.
Oh wait! Before that, there's a scene when they were on the ship before they started leaving about weapons.
Yes. The geologist wants to take a flamethrower with him, and the scientist tells him no.
We're here on a scientific mission, not.
Guess what, Ridley Scott? Okay, 50 years of Star Trek has taught me one thing. Even on a scientific mission, you want to be packing heat if you're on a different planet.
It's what I choose to believe. Also, yes, you do want to pack heat, so bring the fucking flamethrower.
Yeah.
So back to where we are now.
So yeah, they explore. The hologram leads them to a doorway where they find one of the engineers dead, being decapitated by the door.
Mm-hmm.
Now, little thing that suddenly happens. Out of fucking nowhere, the robot has a ladder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Like, unless he had like some sort of thing that...
Yeah, unless it was really collapsible, but...
You can't really have a little tiny thing stuck in your utility belt like that.
Japanese bicycles.
Yeah, but Japanese bicycles...
Yeah, but even Japanese bicycles don't collapse that much and you don't fucking notice them.
Like, you can only
80 years later.
Still not enough, because if it was that small, there's no way it would expand to be able to hold the weight of a robot, which probably weighs more than a human.
I don't know, I think with the whole with the illusion of making him look as human, they probably used enough stuff that he weighs about as much.
Not really, because the woman had to literally use a pulley to get him off the ship, which means...
doesn't make sense, because you... Again,
but that's later in the movie anyways, but...
Yeah.
If she had to use a pulley, it means that she was counteracting the weight, which means that he had to weigh more than the average human at the very least. Not a lot more, but a bit, enough more.
She was sending him down so that she wouldn't just throw his body and it would get damaged.
Yeah, but again, she used a pulley instead of just simply lowering it down with the string. A pulley means that it's taking some of the weight off.
Yeah, remember how
it's taking most of the load.
There's a little problem that she has that probably means that she can't carry as much weight.
Well, yeah, that sure worked. That problem showed itself a lot.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay. Okay.
It's a lot of stupid in this movie. Anyway.
Ladder.
Yeah, ladder out of fucking nowhere.
This is why I'm the director. Ladder.
Yeah. So ladder out of fucking nowhere. But anyways, they go. They open the door. They get the alien's head, and then they're in this room that has a fucking giant head of one of the aliens.
Not to be confused with the big giant head for you fans of Third Rock from the Sun. It was just a big fucking stone head.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I want a soundbite from that. Anyways.
But, yeah, and it's filled with these little, I don't know, we each had a different interpretation of what they looked like. Like, I think they look like giant martini shakers.
I thought they looked like little bowling pins for those kids. 8-pin, not 5-pin.
I think it looked like a very strange little urn sort of thing.
Yeah, but either way, it's filled with those, and each of those apparently is filled with some kind of black the black ooze from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, actually.
Which is never explained what exactly it is.
Yeah, or why things differentiate.
It's probably what turned Shredder into Super Shredder.
But the goo in that movie was green.
Never know.
So,
yeah, so there's that. And behind the stone head, there's a carving on the wall of a fucking alien that we wanted to fucking see in this movie.
Uh-huh.
It's there, essentially arms spread open. It's the closest thing you get to an actual alien in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the thing at the end that we're gonna mention ain't it.
So yeah, while they're exploring, the robot again, David, is looking at one of the urns, and he starts
playing with the goo.
Yeah,
because for some reason
that sounds wrong.
Oh fuck! We forgot an important thing.
What's that?
When the guy takes off his helmet.
Oh yes. Okay.
Oh yeah. For some reason, when they go into the main chamber of the dome,
there's breathable air in there, and the scanners obviously don't say there's anything bad. It's just breathable.
Yeah. There's no explanation as to how they did this or why it is that way. It's just, oh, well, actually, you won't die in 2 minutes from breathing this. Inside here, with this giant tunnel up to the ceiling,
it changes the atmosphere for some reason. They even say for some reason.
Yeah. No logical conclusion. No sign of anything in the entire structure that could be making its own environment.
It was just an excuse for them to have the helmets off for further plot things to happen later.
Which, by the way...
That or just, they just add that in because probably at some point during production, the actors were complaining about the helmets.
Possibly that.
So this is where I'm in the seat beside Matt, and I start saying, this is the part where some sort of deadly virus or bacteria start to attack them.
Yeah, because, okay, I get it that the air may be breathable, but... One, whatever devices you are to get scanning the air are probably set to be able to scan things on Earth-like environments. So you cannot be confident that it will be able to pick up everything because there are things that are beyond the Earth. Mm-hmm. So it may not be able to pick up an alien bacteria or an alien virus. But of course, these lucky bastards don't get infected by something in the air, at least. Oh, but yeah, apparently being an idiot is the same thing as being skeptical. By the line in this movie, because the woman tells him not to and calls him an idiot, and she says, "No, you're just being skeptical." Not the same thing.
No, usually it's the other way around. The opposite of skeptical, carefree, fucking trying it, whatever, with caution to the wind. That's the stupid part.
Yeah. You're not skeptical if you're to be deciding to do the smart thing and keep your helmet on in an alien environment.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, eventually they all take off their helmets anyways. But, they're all fucking idiots, as you'll see later on.
So they go in. Like I said before.
Yeah, so back to where we were, because we forgot that little gem of a scene.
Yeah, so...
Oh, wait. We forgot another part.
Which part?
The geologist and the biologist splitting off from the group.
Well, yeah, that's when they find the dead body and they get scared suddenly.
And that's what I say.
And they walk away. Saying they're going back to the ship.
And this is where the geologist, who looks supposed to look badass...
suddenly gets scared out of his wits.
And... runs a bit like a bitch.
Yeah. And, I repeat, the geologist is the one with the map strapped to his wrist, saying they want to go back to the ship, and gets lost.
Yep.
But yeah.
How? Map on wrist.
Well, there's something...
His pops.
There's something that's revealed later that might explain why he wouldn't think of that.
Yeah, but maybe the clear-headed guy would have.
You would think so.
But then again, that guy's a fucking idiot for what he does that gets himself killed.
So yeah, they start hearing something, which is basically a storm on the outside, right?
Yeah, there's a storm coming, and the captain tells them to get out of there as quickly as possible. They do, but the woman almost gets herself killed when she tries to save the head.
Yeah.
But during that time, David, the robot, starts to sneak in one of the...
Yeah, he grabs one of the
urns.
We'll just refer to him as urns for the sake of clarity.
Yeah, not to mention that when they're first exploring this little area, the urns are fine, but he's shining a flashlight on it, and for some reason, the stuff starts to heat up and melt through the top of the urn.
Yeah.
And so he's poking at it, because he's a curious little robot, and this will be neat.
And he decides to take it with him.
Yeah.
It's a plot point, though, so we'll get back to that.
And this is where I start to think robot is evil.
Yeah, well, it's a Ridley Scott movie. You're essentially 50-50 with that thing.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they start going back, and like Matt said, while they're coming back in...
The woman drops the head and almost gets herself killed. It just... shenanigans.
And this is where your friendly neighborhood robot comes.
Yeah, with a winch and pulley system, and he gets them. Anyways, it doesn't matter. He gets them back in the ship. This scene honestly kind of worked because the woman's I already figured the woman's a fucking retard. Anyways, the robot's the most likable character at this point and the most intelligent thing on the ship.
Let me clarify for you people here. Anyone's who's watched this movie or understands what's going on, it's never, ever worth it to risk your life for head.
Yeah, no, I can't think of a situation where I would.
So, yeah.
Unless I was on my deathbed and it was my last chance to get head, then maybe.
So, yeah. Husband starts yelling at wife about how stupid she is. And...
Yeah. But anyway, so they take the head.
They start
and take it to the med lab. And they realize that the thing is a helmet.
Oh, and this is where the other side starts to drink.
No, wait, yeah, but that's not, again, but we're talking about the head scene here, where they're in the lab. Now, it takes them how long to figure out that it's a helmet?
About a minute, 20 seconds.
The robot stays silent through the whole thing. Like, let's see if these dumbasses figure it out.
Yeah.
He's just playing the Jeopardy game in his head the whole time.
Okay, look. You walked into the chamber that had a human head there, and the thing in front of you does not. But it's obviously the same thing. So that's probably not its real head.
Mm-hmm.
That should click right away.
Because why the fuck would they make a giant head in this little alcove that didn't look like their own?
Yeah.
Why would they celebrate this shit? Maybe they'd make one of themselves for being the ones to make life. Not, this is what we did!
Yeah. So, anyways, they take it off. Now, the woman at that point says, we need the robot's help because it's too heavy for me. It wasn't too heavy when you were carrying it around to get to the ship. Suddenly it gained a 50 pounds or something?
Depending on the ship or the lack of adrenaline.
Even then, they comfortably lifted it up when they were calmly, without any adrenaline, inside the structure. And then suddenly on the ship it's heavier? Bullshit. Yet again, bullshit! But anyways, they take it off and they reveal, of course, the obvious humanoid face. And then suddenly they see some little, what they think are living cells on it. And
it's all covered in this dark crud. Like,
honestly, it looks more like
looks scabby.
This will come into play
scabby, kind of like mildew, really.
Yeah.
But black.
This will come into play again later.
And suddenly, they decide, you know what? Let's see if we can make it think it's alive. So they jab it in the neck with a needle, probe kind of thing, that's attached to an iPad! Like, not even trying to make it look more futuristic or anything.
The geologist used an iPad. The biologist used an iPad.
It's a fucking iPad.
Now the doctor, the doctor of the ship uses the iPad.
Reanimating life. There's an app for that.
Apparently.
Oh my god. Anyways,
I swear to God, at some point, Apple must have put some money into this movie.
There has to be some product placement in there.
So yeah, the head starts to...
It's actually what they're working on for Steve Jobs right now. To keep him coming up with ideas past the grave.
So yeah, the head
really? He's not haunting your iPhone?
Apparently not anymore. I got no problems.
They must have exercised him. There's an app for that.
Mark, continue.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the head starts to twitch a bit, and then...
its eyes open up, and then
it starts to go frantic, and...
It's convulsing.
Yeah.
And then
you get this oh shit look on this thing's head.
And then it's like, close.
Put it back under the glass. Put it back under the glass.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
and it blows up.
The robot's still there. It's just like, these fucking idiots.
Exactly. Just looking at them like, oh my god, really?
This thing really just blew its top.
Yeah. They're looking at it for all of 5 minutes, and that's all it takes for them to blow it up.
So...
Right, Harvey just reminded me.
Yeah.
That woman there was a doctor. Like an actual doctor.
Yeah,
no.
The one with
I
the
didn't
bad
remind you. I was the one who reminded you.
Yeah, well, anyway, so this goes to a scene later on in the movie where the robot tells her, "We have nobody on board that can perform an operation."
Yeah.
You have a fucking doctor
with a uterus. So
wait. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
We'll revisit this. Don't worry.
So yeah, head explodes like an egg in a microwave.
Yeah, but they still take a sample of it. We'll get to that in a little bit.
And also, again, they keep shooting back to the other scientist
who's drinking,
because this will come into play again later on.
So
really soon.
Yeah,
he seems to be a bit of a lush at this point, and that's all we're getting.
Yeah, but anyway, so now we cut to David with the urn, where he opens it up, and there's a little glass. There's some really big glass-like vials that have more of the black goo in them. Mm-hmm. And he puts them on his finger.
Now, he puts the vial into the container again and back into
what essentially seems like the wine rack or drink cabinet of this place.
Yeah.
Not like hiding it somewhere, but it just looks like he's putting it in plain sight. Like nobody was going to fucking notice, that wasn't there before.
Yeah, like someone's going to think this is just a Bacardi mixer that someone happened to pick up.
Then picks another bottle of champagne, unopened yet, and walks.
And he takes it to the other scientist, who's
apparently depressed.
Yeah, depressed because none of them are alive.
Mm-hmm. And because the pool of balls he has are all metal, so we can't even tell what the numbers or the colors are. Yeah. That's pretty fucking depressing.
That's kind of stupid as well. Now, they actually bring up a pretty interesting point that I actually liked at this point. Mm-hmm. When David and the guy are talking about their creators, and the guy says, "Well, I just want to know why they created us." And then David, the robot, asks, "Well, why did humans create me?" And the scientist answered, "Because we can." And David answers, "Well, wouldn't it be just sad if you came up to your creators and that's what they answered? Because they can?" You know, a smart movie would have actually explored that concept. Would have actually had them alive and actually put up that... You have the balls to actually have these aliens alive and actually tell humanity, "Yeah, we created you because we can." Mm-hmm. Do you know how that would have actually been a nice emotional trip for everybody on that ship? They find the creators and they find out humanity has no real purpose in life because they just are, because on a whim.
It was just a successful science experiment.
Yeah. That would have been a good twist.
That would have been a pretty decent emotional downer.
Yeah, that would have worked. But no, essentially right after that line, glossing it over, never existed. One smart line in this shithole of a movie.
Yep, it's pretty much just to add a little more contempt to the robot, who's not supposed to be able to feel anything anyway.
Yeah.
This is where I started...
Even though he displays more emotions, especially subtle ones, which he does amazingly.
Which, at the point of the movie, I'm starting to think that he has hate for that scientist.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
He's got his own hidden agenda.
Yeah.
Which we start to see. He says, "Fuck all you humans except the one that started me."
Now, he starts to give him the drink.
And puts his finger in it. Now,
you'd probably notice the finger in your...
Yeah, well, that's not important.
It is if you're making my drink.
Okay, yes, but I go more back to simple chemistry and biology thing. What do we use to disinfect things?
Alcohol. Which is basically what
he gave him. Champagne.
Oh, jeez.
So, I mean, how could the robot know that something that he knows absolutely nothing about, this black goo thing, wouldn't have been completely disinfected by alcohol like any other kind of infectious thing in the universe? Because guess what, people? Unless we're in the fourth dimension, the laws of physics are the same everywhere. Mm-hmm. So if he put it in alcohol, it shouldn't have worked.
Brain cells are not the only thing that alcohol kills.
Okay, that it should have killed it because that's what alcohol does.
Now,
but anyways, it works. He ingests the black liquid, and it gets worse from there.
This is where the robot smiles.
Yeah,
it smiles.
Yeah, he asks the man, Now you've come this far and they're all dead. There's nothing you can learn. You can hope to learn from them. What would you do to find out your answer? And the guy stupidly asks, anything and everything.
Oh my god, this is where the robot smiles, that creepy smile.
But anyways, moving along, we cut back to the scientists where they're testing a DNA sample of the alien. And they compare it to a human DNA sample.
Oh, this is where it goes rage even more.
And it's a fucking 100% match? These 9-foot-tall albino fucking giants that look like a combination between Voldemort and Kratos from the games.
Yeah. These hairless motherfuckers.
And a bit of Mr. Manhattan.
Yeah, a little bit of him. Especially the guy from the beginning of the movie.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Dr. Manhattan.
And we're supposed to fucking buy that their DNA is 100% matched to human? Not a chance in hell. I couldn't believe it was similar.
At least one chromosome.
Yeah, or if we had the same base pairs.
Yeah, so this actually...
Or some other scientific thing they could have added. Anything. There's lots of things that could have been the same. But not 100% DNA match.
This brings me back to my confusion about the first part of the movie. If it is supposed to be based on a Darwin sort of thing. If it's 100% match of theirs and humans, why the fuck would it start life with fucking monkeys and go through that point? Eventually get back to humans. That's a piece of shit.
Exactly. I repeat. Logic. Window. Or the line that Harvey's been rolling with through his entire review.
It's what I choose to believe.
Ah!
I want a soundbite. I seriously.
So stupid!
Use that for anything. So yeah. Match.
Next scene. The drunk man visits the woman. They talk a little. Nothing really important is revealed. Honestly, nothing. And they fuck.
Well, they do reveal as...
Oh yeah,
just to set up for some plot points that she's, for one reason or another, she's sterile.
Yeah, she's infertile for some reason or another. But anyways, either way...
When I was watching this, he was talking about it, and like, I don't have the reason to create. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Not what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, he's like, anyone with a couple cells and half a brain can create life. And she takes that personally. She's like, well, I can't make life. He's like, oh no, I didn't mean your ovaries. Don't worry about that. I just meant, I'm stupid. Now let's...
Yeah, exactly.
How does that work? Like, you have angry sex after.
Here's a reminder of this is the thing you do to make what you can't do.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't work. I'm pretty sure the woman would be completely turned off at that point.
Yeah. It's like, you're an insensitive asshole. Get the fuck out of my bed.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, guys, if you went up to your girl and she found out that she couldn't have kids, do you think she'd be in the mood to screw? I don't think so.
Salt in the wound.
But
Not very good at
anyways, they screw.
And later on, the guys
they have sex.
Yeah. But, you know what? We forgot about two people. Let's go. No. Let's go back to the idiots that are still in the caves.
Oh yeah, so
the captain is trying to communicate with them.
Yeah, the two guys that got lost.
Yeah, lost. I repeat, the man with the map got lost.
I wish they had Dora with them. Everything would have been fine.
Now, the captain I like. He's one of the only likable characters in the damn thing.
He's also memorable, but...
He's only about 1.5 dimensions, but he's still pretty likable compared to the rest of the characters. Yeah. And so these two fucknuts are lost, and they have to wait it out in there because there's the big-ass storm that they all have to run in from. And so they're walking around, inadvertently exploring, because they have nothing else to do.
And they find a pile of dead bodies.
Yeah, like... huge heaps lining the walls. So, instead of leaving, because one dead body creeped Mr.
Badass.
Yeah.
Badass geologist
out. No, they stick around to talk to the captain.
Yeah, because the captain is a dick and scares them right as soon as they're looking at the dead bodies.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, there's a life form just a little bit west of you." What?
Yeah, there's a ping. A ping?
What? Yeah, the hipster guy just kind of reacts. It's kind of funny, but honestly, it doesn't help the mood, though.
He probably still had ping on his iPhone.
Yeah. But anyway, so they have a little banter, and the guys obviously decide, let's not go towards the thing that could be alive and could kill us.
Yeah. See, that's actually smart. Except, it's a smart intention, but it turns out to be pretty fucking stupid, and it's totally redeemed inversely later.
Yeah.
Oh, the ping's gone. Okay, we'll go
east anyway.
East instead of west, where the ping's coming from.
Yeah. No, the ping was coming from the west.
Yeah,
so they go
east
away from the ping.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're going...
Yeah. So anyways, so they go, and they go back to the chamber with the big head.
Oh, jeez.
And they're touching the goop, which is now actually almost
flowing,
melting out.
Yeah, and it's flowing around the room at this point. Which reminded me of a scene from a different movie, I just can't remember.
So yeah, this is where the cobra from the basket, when you see those movies.
Mark! It's a penis! It's a fucking penis! It's a dong!
No, when it was still folded up, and actually more so when I opened, it seemed more like a vagina.
Yeah. Well, closed it's a penis, open it's a vagina. Geiger at his best.
So yeah, it comes up, and the biologist starts to say, "Wait,
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful." He's describing this to the captain, and the captain's just like, "They're dead."
Yeah, like the captain's already given up on them. Oh, fuck, we forgot. What was the geologist doing at this point?
Oh, so the geologist, it's revealed, has he's coughing a lot in his mask. And so the guy says, "Oh, what? So you got tobacco in there?" And he says, "Not tobacco."
No, he says, "Yeah, let's call it tobacco."
Yeah. So let me paint this clearly for you people. The only qualification that this man has to be a geologist, the guy who studies and knows rocks, doesn't know fuck all about dead bodies, but he loves rocks. The only reason he has these qualifications is because he likes to get fucking stoned. That's all it is. Because apparently he knows fuck all about his trade. He only knows... Come on, pups. What the fuck are you talking about?
So, yeah, we forgot. But anyways, the biologist is now looking at the thing, and suddenly it flares open. He's a biologist that just described this thing as a kind of reptile. Mm-hmm. What do certain reptiles do when they feel threatened, pissed off, or aggravated?
Warning, warning flare, warning,
Basically,
warning.
They put up frills.
It frills, or it flares up in some way.
The most relative thing into this, cobra.
Yeah.
Think cobra.
Yeah. It flares open and... Yeah. You would think a biologist that is describing this as a reptile-like thing would realize that...
It's acting like a cobra.
It's acting like some kind of snake creature, which means it's feeling threatened, which means step the fuck back!
Yeah, it means stop reaching towards the thing and saying, come here, beauty, come on. Oh, look at that. Ah!
Basically, it bites his hand.
The only person that could have gotten away with that is Steve Irwin.
I would have loved to see Steve Irwin in space.
Oh my god.
Steve Irwin versus the alien.
Oh my god. The alien would be so fucking confused. Steve Irwin would be like sitting on top of it, petting it. She's a beaut.
He'd be holding on to the second inner mouth, just, oh, look at that. You know that fucking face.
I wonder if it likes this. It's just playing with its tail.
Oh,
the alien looks violated.
Doesn't know if he wants to even kill the guy anymore.
So, tangent aside, this thing is pissed off. It latches onto his hand and then
starts wrapping around, getting tighter and tighter,
like a python.
Yeah. Again, reptile. And of course, wraps so tight that it breaks his arm.
Yep.
At that point, the stone geologist takes a knife.
No, wait. First, the biologist is begging him to cut it off.
Yeah.
He's just standing there looking around like he's having the worst trip of his life.
Yeah. But, then the geologist takes his knife and cuts it.
Which acid starts to
Acid
spit.
sprays everywhere and sprays on the guy's helmet. And he starts struggling. His helmet suddenly melts onto his face and he collapses into the...
Into the
Ooze.
into the ooze. While the biologist...
Because his arm has been broken...
There's a hole in his suit.
Yes. And one would assume a hole in his flesh.
Yeah. And the place where the geologist cut the thing suddenly regenerates.
Yeah. He cuts off the head.
Reptile.
But it still keeps living.
Yeah, and it regenerates.
Reptile.
So
Yeah.
there are some reptiles that can regenerate, just they took it to an extreme.
Yeah,
I can
it's
accept
not that
that.
instant.
Yeah, it's not that instant, but I can accept that. I mean, Dragon Ball Z Piccolo.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we can accept that for now.
Or Warhammer orcs, actually.
Yeah.
Well, they're not reptile. They're more fungus. Even so.
Now that
But,
I'm thinking about this, Hydra.
Yeah.
Because of this stupid Prometheus thing.
Except it didn't grow a second head, so we can't go with that. But anyway, so yeah, it goes into Guy's suit. It's a giant dick, people. And you know what kills him? It throat fucks him.
Yep.
Which I kind of had my gaydar flaring when I first saw the character. Kind of. And the fact that he was trying to make friends with the geologist very badly.
Yes, so it throat fucks him. Now, guys, we're going on to an hour here. The file's going to be big enough as it is. Let's cut this off for now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a break.
Cool down.
We're at the halfway point of the movie anyway, so it works.
Yeah.
We'll take a break, cool down, order some food, and be back with part 2 of Prometheus Review, where shit gets stupider. So we'll be back soon. Thank you.